you're watching Jana Effects. In this video I'm going to make, as usual, technical analysis for the coming week. I'll have a look at main pairs, important levels, and also look at gold, oil and Bitcoin. So also I'll share with you guys the results of the trades for this week, and I have been sending some signals, so I call it trading ideas, through my Telegram channel, which is Jana Effects. So you can join if you would like to follow and see where I am and my ideas, of course. And let's start right now with technical analysis. Okay, so let's have a quick look. To be honest, most of the time right now I'm concentrating on trading gold, and with the other pairs I chose cross pairs like pound pairs and euro, because they also have quite big moves, and with my system where I use recovery, it's better to go for those pairs because they have faster recoveries, right? The dollar pairs, mostly at this time I'm not trading with my system, because we know that dollar is getting really strong, because you know the inflation is going up in America, and they are rising the interest rates. Okay, so and it's kind of looking like still will be going on something like that this year, and hopefully next year it will start to come down. That's why I prefer to do the cross pairs to trade instead of the dollar pairs, like usually before. In a normal situation it was better. But I'll have a look, like I'm saying, I'm gonna have a look at all those pairs just to show you where I am. So starting with gold, right? Because that's the main pair right now I'm trading most of the time. And let's do the week view. So well, let's do daily. Actually, last time, it's been a while when I did last time technical overview, guys, and that's why let's just have a look for the history. As you can see, we had double top, and I think I had a level here before where it was looking like triangle, which was broken, and I was telling you in my reviews also about the spin, and it's what I was telling you, that technically it was looking that the gold should go down and reach what I will have like here 1683, as you see it did. And now the bigger picture, just want to show you with all of this, if the everything is going to continue this way unless something else is going to happen. But technical picture, right, we're looking at this moment and not taking into account anything else. Something can happen out of just the technical. But of course, creation of double top, we have this pattern and the channel, right? So it looks like, of course, the gold should continue the way down. Also, we have a pin here, so I kind of have a level around 1500, so 1500. That's quite possible where the gold I will see going, okay, at least until the end of this year, before they will start to change politics with changing the interest rates or something else. Maybe the inflation has started to come down a bit. All of this, of course. So that's the area a little bit, because guys, here you see I connected a bit of the bottoms. It's a bit out of the channel, because the bottom level of my trend channel is that one, and that means that I'm not excluding that the gold can go around 113 something, like 1400, let's say, and then below, right? So this is where the main level, but it's quite low, so that's why I'm still will be considering this level and around 1500, because we have a pin here where it finishes. So plus minus, it could be going a little bit lower to cover that pin. Okay, so that's my main indication at this moment, to look at, taking everything into account. So going down to this area. Okay, so that would be, at this moment I see it as a limit. So that's kind of like the main picture. And also as you can see, the point is the way I'm trading it, I'm not going into one direction, like only looking at sales. I'm looking at both buys and sells, and using the stops at this moment, of course, and with the recovery system. So that's why to be honest, not really as much as important for me where the gold will go. It's just the picture how I see it technically. So on the smaller one we also have, you see the downtrend channel and another little channel. So of course at this moment I can say that it might need for this move a little bit of correction, and you see it's inside this channel. We can move a little bit of the levels here, like you see I can move it a little bit higher, but at this moment I'm touching as many tops as possible, and if this will start to a little bit going for recovery, then of course I can place the level like this, right? And of course my expectation would be like for the smaller time frame that quite possibly gold could start to a bit of its recovery, and when it comes possibly like back to this level 1683, then we will see if it will have here slowing down or something, and I will be able to move that level and see if it might decide to go a little bit higher, because we also would be able to draw something like that, you see guys. So that would be a turning around, okay, for the gold, and then possibly going the previous level tops, those two tops, breaking them, and then possibly see it's turning around and continue the way down again. So that's pretty much how I see on the smaller time frames a possibility of it. So right now I'm not going to do it because it just stopped here. It doesn't give me that you see we had, this was a pin which was on a bigger time frame which was covered, and at this moment I'm just going to remove those levels. I don't want to have them just yet, just in case that will decide to continue the way down, and then I would have to re-look at this picture. So for me, to be honest guys, I will show you in my Telegram channel the signals I was sending, the possibilities of the entry points, the way I was actually taking my trades. I'm just waiting for the consolidations, and also guys, so for example, I'm placing the orders quite often. So giving you a bit more details if you are following, I'm looking at, of course, during the Asian session I can't trade because I'm not here, I'm sleeping, and some movements are happening during that time. And when I see the possibilities, I place orders quite often, and I'm just leaving them open with my EA, which helps, so I don't have to watch it. But it might take this into this not needed trade, right? And then of course then I would have to wait for the recovery. So that's why, for example, if you're watching during Asian session, quite often what we have like those like little false breakouts, and I mean, it's not only during Asian session, it can be any time really. So for example, if I'm drawing those levels, for example, for safer trading, you can wait for those breakouts and for the markets to come back, and then after that placing those pending orders. Okay, so what I'm trying to say guys, for example, if I had something like this, right, that would be my possible entry points. So when I will be looking at something like that, usually, right, so we have here, for example, I would be saying, I would be looking at something like this little channel, and you can see like these little pins which could trigger. That's why I always have, I'm not placing, you see I'm using the buy stop and sell stop, and there's always a distance up and down to avoid this, okay, because I can't watch it, so I'm trying to avoid it. That's why I have distances from the levels, and the orders are usually triggered when it goes above and below, and then it triggers, right? So but sometimes it could be a little bit more than the orders I have, and then it can catch you, right, with the spread, for example, and then goes back. So if you're watching it, the safer, except of course you can miss a good move. That's why I prefer to place the orders, and then okay, if it will have a bad trade and it comes back and it moves quite a lot, it closes the loss, it opens another trade with a bigger lot size, and it covers it and makes profit, okay? So, but if you're watching it, you can see if the pins, and then it comes back, then you can place your orders, okay? So I call it more safer way of doing it, right? But of course you can, like I'm saying again, you can possibly you can miss a nice movement, because you see sometimes it just continues the move, and like for example here it jumped, this would have been a profitable trade, and comes back and then creates that little pin, yes, and then comes back, and then we were like sitting a little bit here before I had this big move and covered all the losses during the process, okay? So that's what I'm just trying to point out, guys. You need to see which time frames, which time zones is you're able to watch it, and what's the safer way of doing it, what is more risky. So I'm doing it a little bit more risky, but I'm using the money management. Okay, I have a big account and I can afford doing something like that. If on the smaller accounts, I suggest to do it more this way. When I'm giving you those screenshots, just wait for possible little breakout and comes back, and then after that you place the orders. That's a bit safer. So that's pretty much it, guys. So with gold, like I was saying, we're like here right now. You saw the picture, my expectation. So for the opening of the market, we'll be waiting, see what's going to happen here, waiting for consolidation, and then I will be sending my screenshots into the Telegram channel as usual. So quite a lot on the gold because main pair I'm trading. So we're going to do a quick look on other pairs. Like I'm saying, guys, I have another account where I do have different strategy of trading. That's why I have different accounts, different strategies. And with this one, for example, the dollar pairs, I'm waiting for most, of course, turning around. Okay, I'm a bit not into really selling much again, because these pairs, the dollar pairs, like you see, euro dollar, pound dollar. Well, pound is a little bit stronger moves than the euro dollar, but it's most of the time right now dollar is very strong, and using my strategy with the recovery, it might not make good moves, okay, one or another direction. So that's why here I prefer just to wait. When it gives me some kind of like signals more for buy, then I'm going for buy, and of course I'm protecting the trade with a stop loss in profitable, and then I'm hoping for it to finally turn around. Of course, for like euro, for example, at this moment I wouldn't be so positive to try to go back, because the situation, you know, in Europe we have problems. You all know, of course, what I'm talking about. So that's why, of course, I wouldn't be excluding that it quite possibly continue more the way down, right? We have the low previously, and I'm not going to be surprised if euro actually might reach that area, okay? But I'm telling you, because we already have a huge drop, of course we need a bit of a recovery. It's not happening yet. That's why it's so risky also to sell, okay? To sell without like stop or something like that. But at the same time, if there will be some positivity with the situation, what is going on right now, of course, it can turn around any moment and then just continue to go up and not come back down if we will be doing it without the stop. So, or with the recovery, it can take a while. So that's why I would just kind of a little bit, definitely not with my strategy, my usual strategy. So to be honest, like again, I'm saying with the look of the pins it's giving, for example, you see here pin, those little pins, of course, it's showing that it has to go back up and at least to go back around 1. But remember, a long time ago, guys, as you can see, my technical analysis was really good when I was telling you that I see euro below 1, okay? So when everybody was more talking about going up, but I saw before even what happened this year, right? Well, Ukraine and Russia, as you know, I still technically, I was telling you that it was going way down. So that's exactly happened. I mean, the situation happened, and the winter is predicted to be not very easy this year. So that's why in a bigger picture I would still consider it continue the way down, or at least consolidate in this area, probably around 190, maybe below, but that area will not be surprised. It will just stay in this area. It just depends how bad it will go during winter. So in energy crisis, that's the quite important energy crisis at this moment. The cost of living is rising. So yeah, on the smaller time frames, guys, so yes, I'm trying to, as you can see, it had a bit of jump up and going back down. So quite possibly it could be a little bit of turning around, like a bit of the uptrend channel. So let's see if it will try to go back up to 1 again, or maybe trying to even break it and go high. So then we can see it might start to turn around, which, like I'm saying, technically this is what the picture looks like, right? So we do have a bit of, so we have that bottom, right? We have actually double bottom. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. So that's what I'm looking at, things like this. So for example, in my oil account, I was buying here, so it's different strategy, and it's going up. So and now it's have a bit of a recovery of this movement. So we do have a bit of, you see this consolidation, and it went down a bit and come back again. So quite possibly it might continue the way up, but at the same time it might look like a bit of a bearish flag, and I will not be excluding that it will be trying to go back down again. So the also European Bank is not talking about the changing interest rates. Quite possibly maybe they will be. It also depends on inflation, as we know everywhere, but with the dollars getting stronger, I mean, okay, this week possibly the markets accepted that the move down we had, that there will be increase in the interest rate again in November, and the eyes will be on inflation, of course, and how big the exchange, how big the interest rate will be changed, right? So that's the point. But with this, that's what I'm saying. For example, I would just at this moment, that was a little bit stronger picture for me, with this touching the level, coming back, and now in this little area sitting. I probably wouldn't go for the any trades at this moment, just waiting for something else, and maybe going back down more, maybe going back to one and see what it's going to do afterwards. So, and of course watching the news. So I'm out of it at this moment. With pound moves much stronger, so more volatile than euro to me, and that's why quite possible to look the bigger picture. I'm going to show you again also, guys, as you can see my previous last time I was making videos also. The pin, you see that it covered the pin, went to 113 and even lower, where also long time ago I was telling you about this level. So it went 105. Could it go below 1? I wouldn't be surprised, because UK also is hitting quite badly with the situation, with also energy crisis, and also of course going down with the prime minister changed, right? So yeah, all the eyes right now and ears on the politics, what they are changing, what they're telling. So that's influence. But of course we have the low. If we will go something like this would be our big downtrend channel. But this moment, as you can see, it goes a bit of more like into the sort of a triangle. There and down here is also, you can see we have a pin right there. So quite, that's, I'm not excluding it. It will possibly try to go down again to cover it. Okay, with, like I'm saying, the situation at this moment, even though right now it's trying to go for a bit of a possible recovery, and so I could draw a little bit, consider that on a smaller time frame, as you can see, guys, that is another bottom. So yeah, I can connect tops and bottoms, and of course it's quite possibly will go into something like a triangle, and with a bit of like positivity wherever they decided to do. I probably will be looking at placing the orders here, and so possibility, of course, if it will go a bit. Right now I need it a little bit more to go, and then we will see if it will be trying to break out, which also could be a false breakout. At this moment is really early to say anything, but what I'm trying to say, if it will start to break up, then we will be able to, I will be able to move it and try to put it into the uptrend channel finally, right? So yes, it's quite possible to do with pound something like this. So but at this moment, that's pretty much. I had also some trades and some of my trading ideas, which again I'll show you on screenshots. So for example, in here previously I had something in here where I was having a trades, and then it was possibility in here, and you see with that was possible to place the orders, like for example for sell pending order here, and then it's gone very messy, and I see right now it's pretty much nothing, just a bit of waiting time. But like I'm saying, I did not have my trades because I had gold floating. But if you followed, you could go for those trades. Like I'm saying, maybe not to confuse, I will be still next week where I will see those type of possibilities. I will be just sending it to you guys, but it will be up to you if you want to take them or not. and I will be just telling you if I'm taking those trades or not, but where I see a possible entry point. So that's pretty much with pound. We have dollar yen is completely gone crazy, because also Bank of Japan, we know politics, and at this moment, so of course in Japan they're also saying it's gone too far, they want to do something about it, try to bring it a little bit to come down. And you see guys, right now we have it like right reached the top of the top, and you see it's all inside the trend channel at this moment. But well, we did have the previous tops too, which means we can move that level and it can go even higher. So, and where high it can go, nobody knows. And again, with the dollar yen, with my other account, I'm also waiting for, of course, turnaround, and I'm also only looking for possibilities at this moment just for sell. So what they can do, of course, with all those talking about slowing down a bit, and you see we have also the pins here, so it's covered this pin going up, so of course I would be expecting it at some point it should turn around. But when? That's why, yes, of course, there could be a moment when it can just turn around without giving any possibilities, like giving pins, double tops, or anything like that. Like here it started to create something. Yeah, it was looking like it was going to down, which did eventually, but still continued even further. So of course, I wouldn't be excluding that it will reach 149, can go 150 and even 200 before it will start to turn around. So that's why either you can, like I'm saying, depends how big your account, you either can place, you can, every time it goes, for example, I'm doing it with my EA, I'm placing every time it goes, started to slow down, I go on the smaller time frames and I'm looking, it's not going to, not doing so, I'm looking at little ones. You see here has a little gap too, so something like this, it will give another little top, so then I will be placing my pending sell order. It's not connecting at this moment, unfortunately. You have a internet problem, but never mind. So when you see on a smaller time frame, I will be looking for possible, not in 1 hour chart, like let's say 30 minutes chart, and then I will be placing my sell order, which I have if it goes on 200 pips or 20 points when it's closing half positions, and then it's going to trail, because I had few trades like this, and that means if it turns around like that, I'm out of the trade. Okay, so that's why, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just sharing with you how I trade it. Like I'm saying, it's up to you if you want to follow something like this. I find it easier with the EA, of course, because every time it gives me a little bit of the double top or something, I'm just placing my, you see here, if it will go a little bit up and create, so I'm going to place my order here. If it will go up a little bit, we'll start it to go. If it will start to go higher and higher, so that's how I will be placing my levels, trying to, of course, catch this good possible move down, which should happen at some point. I mean, again, it might not happen this year. They're talking about it, they want to come down. Yen, it might be next year, but still I had quite a lot of little trades here, and then we'll be continue placing my sell orders every time I have an opportunity. So that's how I do it with dollar yen. Dollar Canadian, the same situation. It's went quite far, and like I'm saying, quite possible maybe just stay away, or the main picture, we had a uptrend channel, so it's broke it, we have a pin, which means yes, I will be expecting it to go down. Well, of course, we still have pins here, which not going to exclude that it will go, might go and just cover all of it. With dollar Canadian, slightly also situation that you need to watch Canadian, because oil prices, when the oil prices are going, and then Canadian going up, also going up, the prices oil going down, and Canadian going down, but also strong dollar, right? So here is a little bit something like that. And then you can see here a little pin also showing me the way down. So pretty much the same I would have do as a dollar yen, looking at placing just a sell order every time. It's like you see now it's creating a possible double top. It has a little pin, but at this moment it's stopped with this candle. With the opening market, I will see obviously where it's going to be, if it will continue the way up or it will try to go back down. So if it will continue the way up, I will be probably placing my sell order in here, and then hopefully it will continue it will be turning around, like giving this finally double top and maybe trying to go back down inside this channel. So, but this moment I see I can't do it because of this new candle. So if it will continue the way up, then I will be looking at new opportunities. But like again, for that, only looking for sell at this moment. I don't want to look for the buys. Even though it's strong dollar, you see it's already have like 1,000 pips. It's going very sharp. I mean, yeah, we've seen this before. Like here it did, yes, but we're getting closer to the end of the year, and like I'm saying, October, November still might continue the way up, but that's how I see it at this moment. So I'm looking at selling opportunities at this moment, and not going with my strategy on this pairs. Okay, so just a little bit of collecting, if possible, will go down with smaller profits like I do with my EA. Australian dollar, the same, opposite situation. It's going down. So let's, okay, we have a monthly chart. So the main picture here is, you can see, guys, I could connect the previous bottom with another pin, which means that we can easily, by the end of the year again, with the things explaining to you, I wouldn't be surprised that it will continue the way down. Okay, so continue way down, trying to close this pin, maybe just close half. It's not always closing the whole pin, it can just go for bits of it. So for example, if it might go, well, the price is around 56, 57, something like that, right? 0.57, I would say. Well, it can go 0.55 to cover it, but if it will respect that level a little bit higher, so a little bit, you see we have 0.5978, something like this, because we had previous bottom here. Of course, it could be a little bit higher. Like I'm saying, right now it's just really hard to say where it can stop, where you see it could be a little bit higher, like 61. We already passed the previous one, so yes, right now closer to 161. It might have a bit of a stop here, but still, like I'm saying, I see it more with all of these things around, going a little bit lower here, where hopefully it will start to have a good recovery. So of course, with the same, I don't really want to place the sell orders at that point. With Australian dollar, also looking for a possible buys, okay, but with expectation continue the way down, and then even further. So hopefully from this area to try to turn around. But like I'm saying, guys, on my main account, where I'm concentrating the most trades with gold, those other pairs, the dollar pairs, is more looking into long term. So if, for example, like I'm saying, I'm going for the smaller trades with the EA, but if it goes against me, I'm not placing the stop at this moment. I have some floatings there where I'm just sitting and waiting. It's a long-term trading, so just you know, like buy a little bit of those pairs against dollar, and then just sit and wait. Okay, sit and wait with them, because it's very small lots I'm placing, because it doesn't give any good indications of turning around on any of those pairs. That's why I don't go for bigger lot sizes, but it's very small lot sizes, just waiting. And like pound yen, one of the cross pairs, the usual one I'm also looking at. So like I'm saying, guys, the cross pairs are making like really good moves at this moment, more like volatile in this respect, going both directions, up and down. So that's why with my strategy, with the recovery strategy, I prefer to use those ones. And with pound yen here, the situation is the same. With pound, remember I was telling you, I was seeing it more really going down, but because of the yen, okay, Bank of Japan, it's actually jumped up. And right now, just looking at, we do have, it's come out from the triangle, right? So it went up, had a bit of this, given a spin again, and now previous spin. So of course, if the changes with yen, I would see pound drop back down, at least to get to that pin, right? That way, so you see back to 148 something. I have that level, 148.82. Because expectation of still the energy crisis and bad winter for UK, then winter months, I still would have been seeing more is going down. But if there is nothing is going to change with yen at this moment, and maybe a little bit more positivity with the whatever they're going to say with this new prime minister. We see it's kind of sitting around this area, like around 168, 66. So of course I will not be excluding that it might try to jump up higher, right, and continue the way up. So for me, to be honest, with the strategy, you see the same pretty much is quite a lot on pound pairs. Well, I can move a little bit down, see here if it will sit just like a pound I showed you, and if it will be trying to break, so then I can draw it more like this way. So you see, I quite possibly expect a bit of consolidation in this area. Who knows, maybe the open market it will go already this way, but we will see, because I need to see if it will be any gaps or anything else, and then we will see if maybe I will be able to, of course, in a smaller time frame, to use, you know, I'll go for something, possibly something like that. On a smaller one, and then see if it will start to sit here. This would be the possible entry point. And once again, guys, if like you see with the market opening, it will be very slow, and because we do have a little bit what on here, you see we have a little bit of those tops, so the calculation is easy. So we have 50 pips up, could be even 100 pips up. So you can see again, I will be possibly placing just my levels and expecting if there will be false, let's call it false breakout, right, and coming back, and then who knows, sitting there, false breakout, coming back, and then continue the way up or continue way down. It doesn't matter if after few attempts it will cover the loss and make profit. But if you want it again more safer, then you can just see this area. If it will have a pin and then it comes back, then you can place your order. Of course, you can work, like I'm saying, there's some strategy on break and return, and then you can see it's quite a big distance. Then if it will break and come back a little bit, then you can obviously sell here instead of placing the order buy, and then go for again for a smaller trade to see if it will go back to here. Then if it will start to break down and comes back, then you can close your trade and then you can buy instead. So it all depends. It's a different types of strategies, but that's the area to watch. Okay, so just saying to you guys, that's the area to watch. One or another way, you should make a good move. Okay, so you should make a good move, and that's why I will be watching it and possibly placing the orders with this pair. So now we're going to oil. Also quick overlook. A while ago, yes, I was making that's, you see guys, that's where we had all of this looking as a triangle, where I was telling you, of course, there was a good move afterwards. Then we had breakout, and then it was coming back again, and then continued the way down. That's where I created, you see, this downtrend channel. So at this moment, you know, with the oil, of course, they have these talkings about like the lower oil again, less production of it, but also problem with Russia, you know, guys. So of course it can jump up again at this moment. Yes, it's come down a little bit, but we do have, you see, sitting still in downtrend channel, but we had the previous bottom. So just want to like a little bit of giving you like what I would be looking at. I'm not trading it at all, not have interest in this, but here you see it's broke this bottom, yeah, and it's had a return. Here it has a little double bottom, so as you can see, that's the one of the way of trading it. So it's started to go back up, so you see guys, but it's broke this top and it comes back in. But because we are now looking at possible, it's inside the downtrend channel, but it's right underneath the uptrend channel. So I would say if it will sit in here and quite possibly will try to break up, so then of course I will be expecting it possibly trying to get inside and reaching 100 again, right, 100, and trying to go even higher. At the same time, if it will sit in here and started to break, continue the way down, so then expecting it to sit in here. And also if you will look on a smaller time frame, check her out with your other brokers. If you have, there is a little gap in here, right? So because of this little gap, I would see a little bit more. Let's say the another scenario, so it might just sit in here and break and then continue the way, at least to close the gap, and then you can see if it will get like 84.77 here, and then maybe it will be started to stop and then trying to give another bottom where you will be able to connect it and try to turn it around, right? Because at this moment I can't draw it anywhere to try to turn this downtrend, turn into a possible. What I'm trying to say is that we have the bottom, but we need another bottom, right, to turn it. to try to turn it, because if you will have another bottom and then it will be trying to break out from the channel, okay, that's how usually it happens with these trend channels. But don't forget also that you can move. We're using one top, but we can also use another top because it's a double top. So what it can do, I'm going to leave it as it is for now. So that's how you can look at it. When it opens the market, it can create another top, right? From here it might jump up, gives us another top again, break it, give a pin, touch 100 wherever, and well, I have here like about 102, but we have like a psychological level. Usually you would go for round numbers around 100, like let's say, yes, more psychological number. So right from here goes, give that pin, then may come back, and then you could probably I would look at a possible sell right there, because it would be double top, breaking it. We have here gap, so that's what I would be okay. So good indication of possible going down, closing that gap, and started to create another bottom here, and then you will see if something else, whatever, any pattern where it might be, you might able to turn it around. Okay, so unless of course it will go back down and then try to smash it and go continue all the way down, and then it's a different story. But at this moment I would be looking more at the scenario of possible creating double top, or possibly go and close in the gap first, and then giving another bottom. So that would be my watching area and how I would walk around it. So now going to Bitcoin, crypto. So and again guys, remember my technicals where I was telling you about breakout, staying underneath. We had an uptrend channel, and I was telling you if it will sit underneath that, I will be seeing more going down, and even I was showing you the areas where it could go, exactly the pin first here, and then around 20,000 as we have here, and we had the level, and it's sitting now. So what, of course, a lot of you would be saying, what's now, is it going to now turn around? Of course, Bitcoin needs a little bit of fuel, motivation to go up, and there is nothing in news at this moment, unfortunately, and that's the problem, right? Okay, so that's the problem. Nothing is going on, that's why it just sits and doesn't want to do anything. Of course, also the dollar is very strong, so yeah, that's why in here technically it does look like we have double bottom, but it's not happening. Nothing is happening. We still have this little pin which kind of covered, but it still might go and close it completely. So I will not be excluding that this in the C, guys, it's already started to accumulate here, right? So that's important as accumulation. That means there should be some movements, okay? Should be. I will not be surprised if it will actually go down further. We did have here those previous tops, so around 12,000, 10,000. I'm not going to be surprised if it can go there. Yes, I'm not going, if there is nothing is happening at this moment, I can see it can do that. Still inside the downtrend channel, still inside the trend level, yes, but maybe a little bit more of consolidation, and then going a little bit further down. So I can see this can happen, but more in this situation at this moment, it's more looking possibly going up, right, a little bit more that way, and just be trapped around 25, maybe even that top, yeah, something like this. So could be, you see guys, we do have accumulation, and it could be either way, but there is no way I can connect anything, because you do know guys, we do really need a little bit of something going up and then another something like that where we can turn it around. Yeah, turn it around. There is nothing at all here to get and say yes, it does look like we are going to go up. Nothing is telling me at this moment, unfortunately. It's kind of a bit of that kind of situation where there is no way. I mean, you can try, but it's definitely flat. You see, I can try to do something like this to see, yes, a little bit we have concentration, we have pins coming back, and like another pin is coming back, and maybe it will be trying, but it's not I mean, I can leave it like this, but I wouldn't be so this pin also, it's just not, I wouldn't do it. Okay, so it's just at this moment it's just very flat, stays under 20, quite stable. So if it will try to break out up, going up, right, well, trying to take this little top, I'm not taking it at account at this moment, but let's say if it will break up and will be trying to stay above 20, then I would be more towards it should started to pick up. Okay, but at this moment, because it sits below 20, that's why it's more looking towards going down. Okay, so that's how I see it. If it will, you see guys, his situation of course could be it might break down and then come back again. Then I would be again more say, okay, it had breakout, come back in the same area, then we still might be trying to go back up. But again, if it sits underneath 20, you see that level, then yeah, at this moment, so let's say it breaks, comes back, but still sits underneath, then it's especially underneath 18 something right here, then I would be still more considering it will go down, which also could be quite another thing, because it will be turning into kind of bit bigger triangle, more like you see, like a very narrow one. It's different, I've forgotten again the name in English to say that, more narrowing, and that means that if it will start to get more narrowing, then here more will be looking going towards up again, changing direction from this position. But at this moment it's just all looking more going down, guys. With this technical overview, if there is nothing they will say anything. Unfortunately, Elon Musk also doesn't say anything. Maybe he will make some comments, tweet something positive, and then it will all be changing. But at this moment I don't see, like I'm saying guys, once again, I see at this moment continue the way down, but if it will try to break but stays above 20, then it would be a little bit more promising, okay, a little bit more promising. But it might just sit in this consolidation for a while until something else, quite possibly until the end of this year. I don't see, like, because of these circumstances and the dollar situation, I don't see it going up a little more, breaking like 25 and going more. So that's the picture for me at this moment. So that's, guys, it with the technical review of the market. It's a very long video, so now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my signals I was sending, my trading ideas through Telegram channel, and also trading results. Or maybe I should really do it in my next video. Yeah, I think so. Let's do it in my next video, which I will show you, which I will probably release on Sunday. Okay, let's do it this way. Today, Saturday, is technical overview. Next video, watch on Sunday, the results of the trades this week, and the screenshots. Okay, so yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, guys, so if you like the video, of course, and you like my technical analysis, I hope to continue make videos. Then of course don't forget to subscribe, like, press the bell button, because a lot of you don't have notifications. And of course join my Telegram channel. It's absolutely free. It will stay free, the channel, where I will send updates when the new video comes out, when any ideas or anything else. You will definitely not going to miss anything from me. And happy trading, everyone. I see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.